Were you ever called a smart kid? You know, the one who always got straight A's, aced every test, and seemed to just get things without even trying. It probably felt great at the time. Your parents were proud, your teachers praised you, and you built this identity around being intelligent. But what happens when that identity starts to feel less like a gift and more like a cage? What happens when the smart kid grows up and realizes the real world doesn't hand out gold stars for getting the right answer? This is the story of smart kid burnout, a silent struggle that affects so many of us who were praised for our brains, but never taught how to handle failure, effort, or the messy reality of life. Let's rewind. Picture little you in elementary school. Maybe a teacher hands back a test with a big, shiny 100 on it. You get a pat on the back. "Hey, you're so smart," from your parents. This feels amazing, right? Your brain releases a little hit of dopamine. You learn a simple equation: being smart equals praise and love. So, you keep doing it. You learn to perform. The problem is, this praise is for an innate quality, not for your hard work. Dr. Carol Dweck's research on mindsets is key here. When we are praised for being smart, we develop what she calls a fixed mindset. We believe our intelligence is a static trait. We either have it or we don't. This makes us terrified of anything that might challenge that label. Fast forward to middle school or high school. The material gets harder. For the first time, you don't understand something immediately. You have to study. Maybe you even get a B on a paper. For someone with a fixed mindset, this isn't just a grade, it's a direct threat to their entire identity. The internal monologue starts. If I have to try, does that mean I'm not smart anymore? If I fail, was everyone wrong about me all along? This is where the first cracks in the smart kid facade begin to show. To protect that fragile identity, we start avoiding challenges. We might procrastinate on big projects because the fear of not producing a perfect result is paralyzing. We might choose easier classes we know we can ace, instead of subjects that genuinely interest us, but might be more difficult. We become perfectionists, not out of a healthy drive for excellence, but out of a deep-seated fear of being exposed as a fraud. This is the imposter syndrome taking root early on. We feel like we're just one mistake away from everyone discovering we're not as brilliant as they think. Then comes college or the start of a career. Suddenly, everyone around you is the smart kid. You're no longer the big fish in a small pond. The validation you once got so easily is gone. Your boss isn't going to praise you for finishing a report. That's just the basic expectation. Your college professor isn't handing out stickers. They're critiquing your arguments and pushing you to think deeper. This is a massive shock to the system. The strategies that worked in school, memorizing facts, acing tests on, translate directly to the complex, ambiguous problems of the real world. Real-world success requires collaboration, resilience, creative problem-solving, and, most importantly, the willingness to try, fail, learn, and try again. These are all skills the smart kid was never taught. In fact, we were taught the opposite, that failure is a sign of weakness and a lack of intelligence. This is the peak of smart kid burnout. It can manifest in so many ways. For some, it's chronic anxiety and procrastination. The pressure to live up to this genius label becomes so immense that it's easier to do nothing at all than to risk producing something that's less than perfect. For others, it's a constant search for the right path. We might jump from major to major, or job to job, hoping to find that one thing we're instantly brilliant at, just like we were with multiplication tables in 3rd grade. When that doesn't happen, we feel lost, aimless, and deeply disappointed in ourselves. We see our peers, who maybe weren't the smart kids, thriving. They're not afraid to take risks, to start a business that might fail, or to take on a project they're not qualified for. They have a growth mindset. They believe their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. They see challenges as opportunities to grow, not as referendums on their self-worth. So, how do we break free from this cycle? How does the burnt-out smart kid recover? The first step is awareness. Recognizing that your perfectionism, your procrastination, and your fear of failure are not personal failings, but learned behaviors from a childhood of being praised for the wrong thing. It's about separating your self-worth from your achievements. You are not your grades. You are not your job title. You are not your intelligence. Your worth is inherent. The next, and harder, step is to intentionally cultivate a growth mindset. This means redefining success. Success isn't about getting an A+. It's about the effort you put in, the process of learning, and the courage to tackle something difficult. Start small. Pick up a hobby you know you'll be terrible at. Learn an instrument. Try pottery. Take a dance class. The goal is to get comfortable with the feeling of being a beginner, of not knowing, of being clumsy. Laugh at your mistakes. Celebrate the small improvements, not the final product. When you're learning to play guitar, celebrate that you practiced for 15 minutes, not that you can't play a full song yet. This rewires your brain to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. In your professional life, actively seek out feedback. Instead of viewing criticism as a personal attack, see it as a gift of data that can help you improve. Reframe the language you use with yourself. Instead of "I can't do this," try "I can't do this yet." Instead of "I failed," try "this approach didn't work. What can I learn from it?" This isn't just positive thinking, it's a fundamental shift in how you view challenges. Also, start prioritizing your well-being. Burnout is a sign that your mind and body are exhausted. Ensure you're getting enough sleep, eating well, and moving your body. Engage in activities purely for joy, with no goal or expectation of achievement. Read a book for fun, not to become smarter. Go for a walk in nature, not to hit a step count. Finally, connect with others who understand. You are not alone in this experience. Talk to friends, a therapist, or join online communities of people recovering from gifted kid burnout. Sharing your story can be incredibly validating and can help you feel less isolated. If you're struggling deeply, please consider reaching out to a mental health professional. They can provide you with tools and strategies tailored to your specific situation. There's so much strength in asking for help. Breaking free from the smart kid identity is a journey of It's about giving yourself permission to be human, to be imperfect, to be a work in progress. It's about discovering who you are beyond your intellect. It's scary, but it's also liberating. You get to trade the heavy burden of being smart for the freedom of simply being a learner, forever curious and open to growth. And that is a much more sustainable and joyful way to live. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And for more content on navigating life's challenges, be sure to subscribe. See you next time.